So our next guest speaker, Dr. Glenn Vo. Dr. Glenn Vo is practicing dentist, best-selling author. He's a high-performance coach and expert in karaoke. As the creator of Nifty Thrifty Dentist, he has created a social media platform that reaches over 45K dental professionals. Glenn became a USA Today best-selling author with his debut novel 2612 Cherry Hill Land, and a Wall Street Journal best-selling author with his business book, Industry Influencer. He coaches professionals across the country and helps them become thought leaders in their industry. Glenn continues to wage war against tooth decay and gingivitis in his practice while maintaining his job as an Uber driver, no pay, for his kids and a trophy husband to his wife, Susan. Dr. Glenn Vo. I think you may have a mic here, whichever you prefer.
I could probably do that, but let's just get started because I don't want to get too. Thank you so much. Can I get everyone to stand up real quick? Can I get everyone to stand up? All right. So I want to give a shout out again to Emily for such an awesome event. So we're going to give her a shout out. So when I point to this side, I want you guys to scream out Emily. And when I point over here, I want you to scream out Latran. Can we do that? Let's do that a few times. Okay, thank you so much. All right, let's go.
Emily!
Come on, we can do better than that. Come on.
Emily!
Oh man, I think this side got it. Okay, so I'm all, I think some of you guys have seen me speak before. I'm all about giving out prizes. I love prizes, right? So I got, where's Rachel at? Rachel, come on up here. So we have some prizes here, but I have a couple of books here that, the value that this is like priceless because it's gonna get your mindset to another level you up. One of my mentors wrote one of the books in here, Eric Sue. He is the co-founder of the Marketing Podcast with Neil Patel. So if you guys are into SEO, you guys know who Neil Patel is. It's Eric Sue. So I got this right here. So who wants this? Who wants this? Come on. Who wants? Okay, well, there you go. Who are dentists in here besides myself? Okay, so I got something really amazing. Kettenbach has sponsored me to be here, and they're sponsoring this event, and we have a gift certificate. This looks like a lotto ticket, right? Like they really got this really big. $150 for a Kettenbach products right here. So who's my dentist here? We have 3 of them. Who wants it? Well, there you go. Dr. Austin. Hold on, and save one for this dude back there. Because he's way back there. He wanted it. You, man, you just raised your hand, right? Hold on, we got to give it to him. Like, he really wanted it, and you guys have an advantage. But with that being said, let's give her here. We'll give you these books here. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so this presentation, you guys can sit down now. This presentation, How Owner Care Prevents Staff Despair. Honestly, it's about team happiness. So this applies for a dental practice. If you have a business, I have a dental practice. I also have a virtual business as well. I have 12 employees at my dental practice, 10 in my other business. So this applies to if you own a business and you have team members, it applies to you. And team happiness is really important because what is the big thing that we're going through right now? They talk about it all the time. Quiet quitting, great resignation. People are leaving because they don't feel appreciated. And this is what this is about. So special shout out to Kettenbach. Rachel, thank you so much. Kettenbach, they reached out to me. They're like, we want you to speak at Dr. Latran's conference. And I was like, okay, yeah. You want me to talk about clinical dentistry? What do you want me to talk about? They're like, we want you to talk about team happiness. Because that's what Kettenbach's all about. They want to elevate people. They want to elevate the dentists. They want to elevate their team members. So again, thank you so much to Kettenbach for sponsoring this event. And guys, if you're a dentist, even if you're not a dentist, if you have any dental clients, go talk to them. because, again, they have amazing products direct to consumer, but also their culture is awesome. So thank you so much for you guys. Okay, so, I've noticed like a trend through all the speakers, right? Talk about like immigrant, the story and their humble beginnings. I want to share you a story too. So when we first came into this country, my family got here fairly early because my dad worked with the U.S. military, and he had two choices. They told him, look, you can either get political asylum and come to the States, or you can stay in Vietnam and either go to jail or possibly get executed. So my dad was like, no, I'm out of here. I'm going to take my family with me. And so one person who was instrumental in helping us settle in this country, his name was Glenn Leon Rogers, right? I call him Grandpa Rogers, right? He was like a grandpa to me, okay? So when we came into this country, my mom was pregnant with me, and when I was born, my parents named me after this gentleman right here. This guy with the glasses there, his name was Glenn Leon Rogers. He was really, really big in Catholic charities. So Catholic charities, they were really big on helping refugees settle in this country. That was something really big for him. This particular picture here, if you can put one and one together, this is all 4 generations of Glenn Leon. So he's Grandpa Rogers, Glenn Leon the first. This gentleman is Glenn Leon the second. The guy that looks like Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi, this guy right here, Glenn Leon the third. I am Glenn Leon the fourth. And this was the last time we're all together in one place, but it was at a Christmas dinner he always hosts for all of the refugee families he sponsored. There was like 100 people in this house. It was crazy. And I remember after taking this picture, I went up to Grandpa. I was like, hey, Grandpa, man, you got a ton of people here. Like, you have your own family. You have all these people. There's like 100 people here. And he looked at me. He was like, one time, a long time ago, when my family came to this country, we flourished and we thrived because of the generosity of people. And so I want to do the same thing. So Grandpa Rogers, he was paying it forward before it was even in style, right? Like, he was doing that. And so what I learned there was through his act of service and through his charity, I learned that, well, you know what? I want to do the same thing. So in the spirit of that, I want to tell you guys, if you own a business, if you own a dental practice, you have an opportunity, right? You have an opportunity not to only impact your clients, your patients, you have the opportunity to impact your team members, right? So if you think about it, a lot of times as business owners, we always think about, like, why doesn't my team care about my business? Why don't they care about my practice? I mean, I care about my practice. Everyone's getting paid here. Why don't you care? The thing is that they don't care because how can you ask someone to care about your dreams if you don't care about their dreams? And so again, the key of team happiness is all about connection. And we're going to talk about that. So just really quickly, because we don't have that much time, I already got an amazing introduction there. If you guys want to learn more about me, just drglenvo.com. If you're a dentist, niftythriftydentist.com, just look me up there. Or you can reach out to me on social media. Okay, and so if you want any of these resources, just take a snapshot here or just message me. A lot of things I'll talk about, it's on this website. So again, a lot of the dental forums is on there too, so just go ahead and visit that URL. Okay, so again, I talked about why are people happy, right? Unhappy. Why is there team despair? It's because of lack of connection, right? You don't feel connected with your team leaders. So again, there's a process I like to talk about. It's called the connection process. 3 things, okay? Core identity, genuine connection, growth potential. So 3 things we're going to talk about to get that connection, okay? Core identity, genuine connection, growth potential. All right, so my goals of this presentation is going to help you create a practice that your team cares about, right? And if you don't have a practice, you have a business. I'm going to help you create a business that your team cares about, right? I want to help you create a genuine connection with your team, right? It's one thing to say, hey, you're like my family member. It's one thing to say it. It's actually to show it, right? And of course, the third thing, which is really important, is going to help you create a growth-minded environment. Let me ask everyone here, who likes working at a dead-end job? Anyone? So again, if you provide a business and the opportunity is a dead end, why would they want to work for you? They want to leave, right? They want to find a place where they have potential to grow. Okay, so core identity is the first thing. Okay, so in my practice, I own a practice up in Denton in 2009. My wife, my lovely wife over there, we own that practice together. And a big part of our core identity is that we like to help our team elevate. I tell everyone whenever I hire them, I was like, my goal is you become better from working with me. Hopefully you work with me for a long time, but if you decide to leave, hopefully if you leave, you will say, that was a great experience. A big thing that we do too is we like to mentor pre-dental students. So when I was in undergrad, I worked at a dental office and I got mentored. My wife did the same thing. So I'm happy to say that we've had 10 pre-dental students go through our practice, and 6 of them are dentists now. So it's pretty exciting, you know? And one of which is Tiffany right here. Tiffany right here was a pre-dental. She worked at our practice. And I'm happy to say that finally one of these dentists wanted to come back, but now she's our associate dentist. That's what we're about. That's our identity. So our whole team knows that we're big on elevating people, right? So again, that goes to core identity. There's 2 things that deal with core identity. There's core values and core self. Do you guys know what core values are? Anyone know? Anyone? No one knows what core values are? Okay, that's all right. You're about to learn, okay? All right, so core values are basically, they're the practice or business's identity, right? The principles, the beliefs, the philosophy, the values, right? So again, core values is not just some cliches, right? If you put some cliches here and you don't believe in it, that's not a real core value. Core value is what represents your business and practice. Okay, so this is the core values in our practice. So we're a faith-based practice. You know, our religions are really big in our lives and our business. And so this spells faith, but it really stands for family, awesome, inspire, teamwork, and happy. Family, well, we treat our patients like family. We treat our team members like family, right? We go the extra mile. Now, when I say family, depending on who you are, I'm talking about good family, right? Sometimes people have bad family, so I mean good family. Awesome is a word I like to use all the time, but really what that means is taking it to the next level, right? Extra service, right? White glove service, right? Inspire, we want to inspire our team members to get better. We want to inspire our patients to get better. And then teamwork, of course, work as a team, and happy is a big one because I tell my team members all the time, I want to make sure that you're happy. Hopefully you're happy working with me, but if you're not happy working with us, let me help you be happy somewhere else, right? So again, happy is a big thing. But again, that's what team core values, our practice, our team members know what to expect. So in your business, if you don't know what your core values are, then how does your team know? And how do they know that your business is what they want to be a part of? That's super important there. And again, there's another downloaded resource. For those who didn't raise their hand, who said that I don't know what core values are, there's a downloaded resource here, can help you create those core values. All right, so core self, this is a big one, right? So again, core self is basically knowing who you are. But what's really important is knowing who your team members are. And there's an assessment. Who knows about the Kolbe A assessment? Right there. 3? Just 3 people? Okay, cool. So the Kolbe A assessment is something that our practice lives by, our business lives by. In fact, I liked it so much, I became a certified consultant. I don't really do that much coaching with it, but I just wanted to learn more. I know Emily is a consultant as well, right, with the Kolbe assessment. But with the Kolbe assessment, what it measures is basically, it's not like an IQ test. You can't fail it. Basically what it does is it basically figures out how you like to approach problems, what kind of problem solver you are, right? Now, why is this important? Well, because you need to know as a leader how you approach problems. Because the thing is that if you know that, then you know what people, what team to surround you with. So I'm going to go over this very briefly here. Again, you can go ahead and go to the Kolbe site. But basically, the Kolbe assessment measures how you naturally solve problems. And then there's a method of operation. There's like four MOs right here. So the first one is fact finder, which is if you're high in fact finding, you're the type of person who likes to get all the facts before you make a decision. Okay? The follow through is someone who needs systems. They go through like a system or a guide to make a decision. Like, okay, I need to answer these 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay, then I'll make a decision. The quick start quick starts are people who make a decision very fast. They don't think about it, they just do it, okay? And then implementer, most dentists are implementers, but they're the type of person who goes into the whiteboard, start drawing a whole bunch of stuff. They like to create a model, then make their decision. This is my Kolbe score, 6.392. So what does that mean? I have a high quick start. That means I make decisions very fast. My second highest score is a fact finder. So I'm the type of person, again, if you read it right here, you are known for taking risks that are grounded in practical realities. You don't mess around with what has always been done, but temper your trial and error approach by strategizing options. So basically, what does that mean? That means I look at the facts and I make a decision right away, okay? Now, let me ask you this. Would a good team be made up of people just like me, and that's the only people? No, because we would be making decisions left and right all the time, very quickly, without actually creating structure. That's why it's so important, core self. You need to know how you approach problems, right? That way you're not getting mad at your team when things aren't going right. Now also, on the flip side, you need to know how your team approaches problems, because that avoids you from putting them in the wrong seats. And what's the fastest way to make someone sad? Making them do a job they're not good at, making them do a job that they don't like. That's the fastest way to get someone out of there. And that's why this is super important. I put my entire team through this, and I found out that some people who are doing things like billing, things that are very detail-oriented, they weren't meant to be there. They were meant to be in front, talking to people, right? So again, core self is so important, not only for yourself, but making sure that your team is happy. All right, so genuine connection. All right, so this is CJ. CJ is my former hygienist. Now, I'll tell you why she's the former hygienist, but she came into our practice as a dental assistant. She had no experience at all. She came in, all the other offices turned her down. She had no experience. My wife and I interviewed her. We liked her personality. We hired her. And I remember when I hired her, she started crying. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, are you sad that you had to take this job? But she was happy because she got the opportunity. And so we sat down and we asked her, it's like, well, what are some of the plans you have? Well, I want to be a dental assistant and possibly a dental hygienist. Now, what she's holding here, this little page here, is like a vision board, right? And I'll explain to you what vision boards are, but basically, it lists out all our hopes and dreams. So again, when you're thinking about a genuine connection with someone, you have a connection with people who know what you like, who knows what your hopes and dreams are, right? So again, how can you ask someone to help you build your hopes and dreams if you don't know what their hopes and dreams were? Well, we knew she wanted to go to hygiene school. We knew that she wanted to have some time to study and all this. So we made sure that we built in that time for her. I made sure that through all my connections, I introduced her to the right people. And then she became a hygienist, and she came back, and our first job as a hygienist in my practice. And she would still be with us, but she had to fall in love, met her husband, moved to Phoenix, and so the rest is history there. But again, it's all about helping others get to what they want, and at the same time, helping you get what you want too. Okay, so again, you have to ask these questions to you. Do you know your team? In your practice, do you know your team? Do you really know them, right? And when I say you really know them, don't think like, okay, like they're like this, like that, they have a couple of family. I'm talking about, do you know their financial goals? You know, their travel goals, their family goals, educational goals, health goals. Do you know those things, right? And then you have to ask yourself this, do you know all the important things about your team? Like how many family members they have, what they like and dislike, you know, their background. These things are really important because if you want to have a genuine connection with someone, the people you're connected with, you know them really well, right? The people you're not connected with, well, you don't know anything about them. So again, going back to this, I keep on bringing this in. How can you ask someone to help you achieve your hopes and dreams if you can't help them, right? If you don't even know what it is, right? If you don't even know when their birthday is or their favorite drink or what they want to do down the line. Because I'm telling you right now, most people who are working on your team, their overall goal in life is not to keep working for you, right? To not helping your dreams, right? They have other dreams as well. Okay, so 2 exercises are going to help you build a genuine connection. Vision boards is us do the vision board here. So vision board is really easy, right? Get a poster board, and basically all the goals that I just laid out earlier, ask your team to put it on there. Now, I told you guys that I have a virtual team of 10. How do I do that? Well, I ask them to create a document. We get on a Zoom, and we talk about it. So we do this every year, and I know what my team's hopes and goals are. Now, here's like a super leadership hack here, right? We always want to give bonuses, right? You know, sometimes people are like, oh, I'll give them a gift card to Starbucks or whatnot. Wouldn't a bonus make more sense if it was something off their vision board? Means more, right? Think about all the great things that's happened when you were growing up, all the things that your parents did for you. Do you remember, like, yeah, my dad gave me a couple $100 when I made these straight A's, right? No, you think about, oh man, I remember all the trips we used to do when we used to drive cross country to go to Disneyland, right? I remember those things. People remember memories. So what better way to figure out what your team wants when you have this board staring right back at you? So on the way to our break room, we have these vision boards. I walk by it all the time. So whenever we do a team trip every year, this past year, I try to figure out, well, where do they want to go? Well, I saw that there's like this beach location on everyone's travel thing. So I did a dental event that was at a beach location. And that's what we did. So another box checked off, courtesy of Dr. Vo, right? So again, think about those things. A getting to know you questionnaire. So, how many times has, you did something nice and someone just gave you like a gift? I say gift card because I'd say that's the lazy person's way of gifting. Oh, here's a Starbucks gift card. Oh, thanks, man. I don't even drink coffee, So again, this questionnaire, I know exactly what my team wants. So when they do something good, I don't get them just a vanilla latte. I know that they like a caramel macchiato. Wow, Dr. Vo, how'd you know that? I just know it, So the thing is that, again, genuine connection is that you got to know what their hopes and dreams are. You have to know what they like. And this is easy. I don't have that great of a memory, but I have Google Drive. This is all loaded up in Google Drive, right? So I just go to it. All right, so the third thing, again, for team happiness, grow potential. Okay, so this is a pay grades system for a dental practice here. And before you guys freak out, this is a little old. The pay grade's a little bit higher now. Okay, but back in the day, that was how much we paid. Okay, so who's business owners in here? Pretty much almost everyone, right? Have you ever been in a situation when one of your team members came to you and says, hey man, I gotta talk to you at the end of the day? Does that happen? I gotta talk to you later. Can we talk? Whenever that happens, it's not a good conversation, right? It's like, okay, they're gonna quit. Do they want more money? If they want more money, can I afford them? If I say no, are they gonna just quit on the spot? What am I gonna do, right? I used to have those stressful things, right? Until I created a pay grade system. So again, a couple of things that we have to think about here, right? For business owners, the things that we're always thinking about is how much profits are we making, and we're making the bottom line. We're thinking about money all the time. But team members, what they're thinking about is, am I working at a dead-end job? Do I have power? Am I empowered to really, do something here, right? We think two different ways. So again, this is my team right here, and the pay grade system, what's so great about the pay grade system is that it is something to let your team members know where they stand, right? So here's the thing. Most of the time, whenever we give raises to our team, it's kind of like, oh, they asked for it, I'm just gonna give it to them. Sometimes the team members don't even know how to get it. What am I supposed to do? A pay grade system lays it out, right? So I have like a level 1 right here, right? There's level 1, level 2, level 3. And all this, just to let you guys know, it's on that website. But a pay grade system basically lays out what they need to do to get a raise. There's no guessing, right? Yes, we take into account like their professionalism and whatnot, but this lays out there. Now the key here is that you don't want to pay something called an existence tax. An existence tax is, you hanging around, here, you get a raise. Hey, you're here, you get a raise, you get a raise, There's nothing tied to it. The main thing here is that each time they move up a level, they pick up new skills that help me make more money. Now, I do this for my dental practice. I do this for my virtual team, right? So the other day, I gave a raise to one of my video editors, and I told him, every 6 months, you're going to have to learn this. In fact, I said, you need to watch some of Grant Cardone videos. We need to do the graphics just like that, right? You're going to have to learn how to do this. And each time they level up, it helps me level up as well. So whenever you do a pay grade, make sure that it ties into your ability to make more money. Because what happens when you pay them more? Your overhead goes up. But if they're helping you make more money, then it evens out, right? So again, pay grade system is going to protect you to make sure that you keep on growing, but also gives your team members a pathway to make more money. So whenever I interview someone new that comes in, I want to show you this dental assistant standards here. Whenever they come in, whenever I do an interview, I love putting this pay grade out. I love laying it out. Someone sits down, they're like, hey, Dr. Vo, my pay is $22 an hour. I was like, I love that. I want to give you $22 an hour. I slide my pay grade over there and says, can you do all these things? No. I just heard that I should ask for $22 an hour. Well, I want to give you $22 an hour, $25. I want to give you that. But here's the thing. The only way you're going to get there is you got to learn these things. And I want to help you get there. So how about you come in at this salary, because I'm going to give you free training. You're going to give you on-the-job training. I'm going to train you up right here. And when you learn all these things, you're going to get your $22 an hour. Works every time. Again, people do this all the time. I did not make up something new. Think about all the people who work in the financial industry, guys who are in the financial industry. You know how it works. You basically go in there and work for free, okay? So that you can take a test, get a license, and then get paid, right? And when you get paid, it's really commissions. It's not salary. So again, I'm just doing the same thing here. Whenever someone comes in an interview, I say, I want to give you that money. But you're going to need to get trained up, and that training costs money, and you're going to get trained on the job, and you're going to come in at this. So again, what's going to keep team members happy? You got to give them a chance to grow, growth potential. Okay, so running out of time here, but a lot of these slides here are on my website here. I just want to quickly go through this here. A rock and a lighthouse, right? So sometimes people are thinking like, well, what if someone outgrows the pay grade? Like, what am I supposed to do, right? Like, am I create a new pay grade? No. You give them, again, it's all about growth potential. So there's two things, very important, right? So what I call a rock is someone who's really good at their job. But they're really just good at their job. They're not good at anything else. This is a big problem that a lot of entrepreneurs make. They're like, this assistant or this front office, she's awesome, and like I want to make her like the project manager. I want to make her the office manager. The problem is if they're not qualified, you're essentially promoting them out of your business. Now let that sink in. You don't want to promote someone out of your business. Someone's good at a particular job and you make them a leader, but they're not a leader. What happens if they fail? Are they going to say, hey, demote me? I'm okay. Go ahead and demote me. I want to still stay here. No, they're going to be like, man, this is terrible. I'm out of here. So it's very important because so many people make that mistake. They're like, I'm going to make my lead assistant who's been here for like 10 years, I'm going to make their office manager. She might not be office manager material. And what happens? She's gone. She leaves, right? So again, figure out if they're a rock. And if they're a rock, then you just you make that pay grade, their salary, and you give them different bonuses, right? Now, if they're a lighthouse being like they can lead the team, then you put them through another pay grade, right? So maybe they're office manager material. The next pay grade is pay grade to become an office manager, assistant office manager, treatment coordinator, then office manager. So think about those things. But the one thing I want you to remember from this is that you don't want to promote someone out of your business. Okay, you got to be honest. If they don't have the capability of doing that, don't just promote them just to promote them. That's the quickest way of losing a really good team member. Okay, so I squeezed in an hour presentation in 30 minutes, okay? So I know I went through this really fast, but you can always reach out to me. Very easy to find. I don't think there's many Glenn Vos out there. So just look me up on social media. I'll answer all your questions. So We created a practice that your team cares about, genuine connection with your team, and a growth-minded environment. Okay, and then this is our team here. We're really big on making memories. This right here, we do this every year. We give back, we volunteer, we do the Texas Mission of Mercy dental event. And then of course, they like traveling. That's us at a cruise, and we went to Cozumel and whatnot. But I want to kind of end this by sharing this story here. If you notice that I started my presentation talking about I'm lucky enough to have 3 sets of grandparents. Grandpa Rogers, my adopted grandparents here, and then I have my grandparents from my mom's side and my dad's side. So grandparents are just like a national treasure, and if your grandparents are still here, just count yourself as lucky and just just cherish all the time you have with them. But I want to share this story. This is my grandma right over here, and when I was in undergrad and in dental school, each time I come back, she would always say, "Hey, are you hungry? Eat this." And I'm like super full. She still feeds me. I had these box of cookies, eat these butter cookies too. And then she would always try to give me money, right? And I remember one particular time I came back from dental school and I was visiting her, and she could tell I was stressed out. She was like, what's going on? How's school going? School's good, school's busy. But, and she was like, "What are you going to do for your break?" So, well, I'm picking up some shifts at the restaurant. I'm going to work in the restaurants for the holidays. And she's like, you really need to take it easy. You shouldn't be working so hard. Just worry about school. I said, no, I'm okay. I can do that. And she walks over to her closet. And if, for the Asians out there, you guys understand how this works. But like Asian people like to repurpose things. Like you open you think it's a box of cookies, but it's really sewing equipment in there. You open like a Tupperware thing, and it's like some rice in there or something like that. And so my grandma had this Folgers like coffee can, and she hides it in her closet in her luggage, and she opens it up and she pulls out like a wad of money like that. Wad of money right here. And it's like 20s. And so she hands it to me, and she was like, "Take this money." I say, No, I can't take it. No, you're gonna take it. Take this. You need it more than me. I get money all the time. You kids need it more. And she gave that to me. And it wasn't so much like the money meant anything. It was just the act of giving me the money, and that the fact that she's putting me there. We recently had this dinner together. My grandma's 96 years old, so yeah, super happy about that. And I paid for the meals. I remember writing down on, paying for the bill. And she looked at me and she poked me. She said, "Hey, remember when I used to give you that wad of money?" And I said, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Well, Dr. Vo, I think my investment was well worth it." So the reason why I share this story is that a lot of times it's not so much the money that we give to our team members, it's the act of caring about them is what's going to keep them there. So I want to share that with you. And so again, remember, if you want to keep your team members, it's all about owner care. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Again, if you want to reach out to me, look me up on social media. Special thanks to Kettenbach for sponsoring me here. And so thank you so much. Thank you, Emily. Trying to stay on time there.